The Art of War by Sun Tzu. 8 timeless lessons on strategy, victory, and knowing when to fight. This is the oldest military treatise in the world, and it still reads like a manual for any high-stakes contest. Business, leadership, competition, or conflict you would rather not name out loud. The core claim is blunt victory belongs to the person who plans, deceives when necessary, and breaks resistance without wasting force. Here are 8 lessons that unlock the whole system. Lesson 1. War is too important to improvise. The art of war is of vital importance to the state. It is a matter of life and death, a road either to safety or to ruin, and therefore a subject of inquiry which can on no account be neglected. 5 constant factors sit underneath every serious calculation. The moral law that binds people to their leader, heaven in the form of timing and seasons, earth in distance and ground, the commander's character, and method and discipline in how force is organized and supplied. Run those factors as a comparison before you move. Which side has the better leader, the better training, the tighter discipline, the stronger constancy in reward and punishment? The general who wins makes many calculations in the temple before the battle is fought. The general who loses makes few. Many calculations lead to victory, few lead to defeat. How much more no calculation at all? Preparation is not hesitation, it is the first act of winning. Lesson 2. All warfare is based on deception. When able to attack, seem unable. When using your forces, seem inactive. When near, make the other side believe you are far away. When far away, make them believe you are near. Hold out baits, feign disorder, then crush what comes to grab them. If the opponent is secure at all points, be prepared. If superior in strength, evade. If choleric in temper, irritate. Pretend weakness so arrogance grows. If they take their ease, give them no rest. If their forces are united, separate them. Attack where they are unprepared. Appear where you are not expected. None of this is theater for its own sake. Deception is how a smaller force steals the timing, the ground, and the initiative from a larger one without announcing the theft in advance. What must never be divulged beforehand is the device that will actually produce the win. Lesson 3. Supreme excellence wins without fighting. To fight and conquer in all your battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. The highest form of generalship is to balk the other side's plans before they ripen. Next best is to prevent their forces from joining. Next is to attack in the field. And the worst policy of all is to besiege walled cities when it can be avoided. The skillful leader subdues troops without fighting, captures cities without siege, and overthrows a kingdom without lengthy operations. Forces intact, triumph complete. Capture whole is better than shatter and destroy. That is not softness, it is efficiency. Broken ground, exhausted treasuries, and dulled weapons are the bill you pay for victories that could have been decided upstream, in the mind, before anyone ever drew a blade. Lesson 4. Know the enemy and know yourself. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. Later the same law widens. If you know the enemy and know yourself, your victory will not stand in doubt. If you know heaven and know earth, you may make your victory complete. Halfway knowledge is the most common form of self-deception. Knowing your own people can attack while the other side is not open to attack, or the reverse, or both sides ready while the ground itself makes fighting useless. Full knowledge is comparative. It is not a feeling of confidence. It is a cold inventory of both sides, then a decision about whether this is a day to fight at all. Lesson 5. Win first, then seek battle. The good fighters of old first put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat, and then waited for an opportunity of defeating the enemy. Security against defeat lies in your own hands. The opportunity of defeating the other side is provided by the other side. One may know how to conquer without yet being able to do it. which is why the skillful fighter puts himself into a position that makes defeat impossible and does not miss the moment when it finally appears. In war, the victorious strategist only seeks battle after the victory has been won, whereas the person destined to defeat first fights and afterwards looks for victory. Wins that look easy from outside often bring neither reputation for wisdom nor credit for courage, because the real work happened before the crowd arrived. Making no mistakes is what establishes the certainty of victory. It means conquering an enemy that is already defeated. Lesson 6. Avoid what is strong, strike what is weak. Military tactics are like water. Water in its natural course runs away from high places and hastens downwards. So in war, the way is to avoid what is strong and to strike at what is weak. Water shapes its course according to the ground over which it flows. The soldier works out victory in relation to the foe actually faced. Just as water retains no constant shape, warfare has no constant conditions. He who can modify tactics in relation to the opponent and thereby win may be called a heaven-born captain. Appear at points the other side must hasten to defend. March where you are not expected. Attack places that are undefended. Hold positions that cannot be attacked. Force the opponent to prepare everywhere, and they will be weak everywhere. Numerical weakness comes from having to prepare against possible attacks. Numerical strength comes from compelling the adversary to make those preparations against you. Lesson 7. Rapidity is the essence of war. There is no instance of a country having benefited from prolonged warfare. Though stupid haste has been heard of, cleverness has never been seen associated with long delays. When victory is long in coming, weapons dull, ardor damps, strength exhausts, and treasure spends, then other chieftains spring up to take advantage of the extremity. In war, let the great object be victory, not lengthy campaigns. Rapidity is the essence. Take advantage of unreadiness, make your way by unexpected routes, and attack unguarded spots. Energy is like the bending of a crossbow. Decision is the releasing of the trigger. The good fighter is terrible in onset and prompt in decision. Let rapidity be that of the wind, compactness that of the forest, plans dark as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. Speed without a plan is recklessness. A plan without speed is a document the other side will eventually read over your shoulder. Lesson 8. Foreknowledge beats guesswork. What enables the wise sovereign and the good general to strike and conquer, and achieve things beyond the reach of ordinary men, is foreknowledge. That foreknowledge cannot be elicited from spirits, obtained inductively from experience alone, or forced out by pure calculation. Knowledge of the other side's dispositions can only be obtained from other men, which is why intelligence is not a side hobby, but the sovereign's most precious faculty. Hostile armies may face each other for years for a victory decided in a single day. To remain ignorant of the enemy's condition, because one grudges the cost of information, is called the height of inhumanity. Move not unless you see an advantage. Use not your force unless there is something to be gained. Fight not unless the position is critical. No ruler should put people into the field merely to gratify his own spleen. No leader should fight simply out of pique. Anger may change to gladness. A kingdom once destroyed does not return. The enlightened ruler is heedful, and the good general full of caution. That is how a country stays at peace and a force stays intact. These 8 lessons open the temple door. The full treatise runs through laying plans, waging war, attack by stratagem, tactical dispositions, energy, weak points and strong, maneuvering, variation of tactics, the army on the march, terrain, the 9 situations, attack by fire, and the use of spies. Short chapters, dense rules built to be reheard. The full public domain read-along is linked below.
Want to create your own audiobook, offline and on your own time? Visit Hiraya AI.com to get started.